Part 2, turning webinar attendance into products. Now, if the question is what you can do with the products that you already have on your hard drive right now, the most sensible thing to do is to maximize your time. Everything that you're doing in internet marketing, you want to make sure that you're getting the maximum return on that time and how you spend it. So this turning webinars into products is a related strategy that you will look at some of the webinars that you have already attended and that you are attending on a regular basis. Now, when you go to a webinar, what you have to understand is that any good webinar that's converting for the vendor, the content in that sales process is really designed to be true. So you don't have to worry about whether or not it's trying to trick you or to fool you. It really tends to be true because people want you to go ahead and take the next step and buy because what's being presented on that webinar is actually true. What typically happens on a webinar is that it's the how that you typically have to buy or how you speed it up. So in other words, everything that you're hearing on the webinar, you're probably noticing that, yeah, it rings true, it resonates with you. And then you tend to have to, if you want to go further and you want to know actually how to do it or you want to get tools to do it, you would have to go ahead and make the purchase of what's being offered. So it's important to note that you are going to be upfront about the idea when you turn this content that you're getting into a product. You're going to be upfront about where it came from. So you don't have to worry about plagiarizing. You don't have to worry about using somebody else's idea and getting in trouble with it. When you actually put these ideas into your products, you are going to be talking about the fact that this is something that you learned on a webinar from this person. Now, you are also, though, going to make sure that you are adding a unique twist and your own results. The other thing you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to take some of this content and you're going to be able to add it into some of the private label rights products that you're purchasing in order to make them unique. So you're really creating a unique product by, number one, getting your own results, number two, adding your own unique twist to what you're actually doing and learning on the webinar. So now the question then is, how do you get started turning webinar attendance into your own unique products? Now, instead of trying to find the right product idea, you want to start looking at really popular webinars. So if you don't have a niche, you don't have a product that you're creating, you want to start looking at the webinars that everyone's attending and that everyone's talking about. Probably the ones that you're getting in your email box, probably the ones that you're being targeted by on Facebook, the ones that are appearing in your news feed or on your YouTube channel. You want to make sure that you start attending some of those webinars, and when you attend it, you're going to make sure that you're taking great notes. Now, you want to look especially over the webinars you personally attended over the last month. That's a good indication that they interested you. Something about them caught your attention. Something about them made you want to attend them. Look at those webinars, and if you can, get the recording to really take a serious look at what was taught on that webinar. Start asking yourself, which ones were the best webinars? Which ones attracted you? Which ideas or which problems really brought you to the point where you felt like you had to attend that webinar? Which one of those webinars solved a real problem? Which one of those webinars had a problem that other marketers had that you talked to? See, this is important because this is going to be the kind of product with appeal for other people. When you start launching products that are like this, these are going to be ones that, at the very least, people are going to be interested in the subject matter. Of course, you're going to have to make sure that your sales copy converts. You're going to make sure you have to deliver on what you promise. But if people are already interested in the concept, they're already interested in solving the problem, you've got a good insight on what people are going to be willing to buy. Now, how did the entrepreneur or marketer solve the problem? What is it that they did in order to help the people who are on that webinar actually get to the point where they can overcome whatever is being discussed on that webinar? What did they do? Did they offer a piece of software? Was it something that they automated? Was it some kind of instruction that they were giving that helped the entrepreneur solve the problem? And so what you want to start thinking about is, what are the alternatives to solving the problem? So if they offered software, is there an alternative to being able to do that? Is there a way to manually do it, but to do it faster than the way that they explained it on the webinar with the instruction that they gave or that they introduced? Is there an alternative to being able to do it that way? This is important because, again, this is going to be how you're going to twist that concept that you learned on a webinar in order to offer your own unique solution to a problem that's already been proven to be one that people are interested in solving. Now, what are the downsides to solving the problem their way? In other words, they're going to have a certain way they're going to be able to do it, but what is the downside? What could possibly go wrong if they solve the problem their way? Because that's going to be an opening for you to solve the problem your way. And of course, lastly, when you start thinking about how you're going to bring something unique to the marketplace, who else knows how to solve the problem? Because if you can bring experts to solve that problem in another way, if you can bring a group of them and you can bring them together to focus on that problem, it may not necessarily be the whole of your solution, but it is a way or a start for you, again, to be able to offer something unique that the marketplace does not have about something that they are interested in. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video.